Basketball, everybody. Why not get one more season in there tonight? We do have time. Of course, you guys fucking crushed it at the draft with the addition of one Dexter Wheeler. And, well, free agency-wise, you don't really have any monies. Outside of signing Blake Wesley or somebody like that. Which, actually, let me look at your roster really quickly. I mean, you don't need any young projects either. You might as well just save the money at that point. You might as well. Again, you could, with like the $5 million, sign someone like Wesley or a younger player who's looking for a chance, but you might as well save it. For myself, again, I got about 27 million to spend. So all of these big names are out for me. 34 million's kind of like pushing it as to who I could possibly get. And again, I am looking at probably having to move on from certain people here this upcoming season. Like this initial core isn't quite working out for me. Given that some people want to leave. Like at best, I could go for like Sadiq Bey. I mean, I'm not paying James Wiseman $31 million, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, there's nobody major that I could land here. Especially not for the asking price, so... I will not be bothering. Outside of... That's right, Patrick Williams was there. Patrick Williams was there. Is there value in going after a player like that? Yeah, I mean a one-year deal. Yeah, I don't think either of us are going to go for anybody here. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like that it's worth it to either of us. Go for Killian Hayes. But for that amount of money, I'm not sure. Isaiah Jackson. He goes an RFA. Jackson was... Yeah, I think we're good. For you guys, obviously, you can renounce the rights on Caldwell Pope. For myself, Isaac Forbes, Ross, PJ Tucker, the Exum can all go. Again, it's not going to immediately like free up the money so that suddenly you have more money to spend. Doesn't work that way, but it is hey, let go of the peoples. So we'll see how free agency plays out for the other teams that might have actually had the money to spend. Actually, a lot of big names that are still out there. Giannis heads to Brooklyn. Jason Tatum heads to Milwaukee. Maybe I picked a good time to get those Celtics draft picks, huh? Jimmy Butler stays with the Heat. Donovan Mitchell on his way. Oh my God, Tatum and Mitchell in Milwaukee. Good luck, guys, dealing with the Bucks. Holy hell. Jamal Murray with the Nuggets. Barnes stays with the Raptors. Whew, Brogdon goes to the Celtics. We cashed out on the Bucks pick. God for that. Chris Paul stays with the Warriors. Bol with the Pistons. Damn, man. Big player movement there. In terms of player progression for you guys, Duran up to an 82. Hardy got better. Horton Tucker got better. Not much else, surprisingly, given the younger players. And for me, I suffered from some regression primarily, so that's fun. Oof. I think you guys might not have cashed out on all of the Bucks picks, though. I don't think you did. I think JD is right. Anyway, we will find out here very, very shortly as we prepare for the 2025-26 NBA season. I have Golden State's potentially and Boston's this year. A lot of picks in the upcoming seasons. Also got the Celtics in 2029. For you guys, you do have the Bucks, but it's a swap. Yeah, and then you got the Bucks next year in 2027. This upcoming one's swapping the best with the Pelicans. So you'll probably end up with New Orleans pick as opposed to Milwaukee. Or no, the Pelicans wound up with a better one. Yeah, you're going to be in a weird spot. That said, looking at chat's roster here, point guard, still Talon Horton-Tucker, Miles McBride. Shooting guard is Hardy, and now Dexter Wheeler. So you could make a decision as to what you want to do there. Moving on from Jaden Hardy might not be the worst idea. At forward is still Strus, Martin, and Beauchamp. So obviously Max Strus can go to the trade block. Collins is back for the year. Felder fractured his leg in preseason. Oof. Gonna put you in a weird spot at power forward. And then you still got the centers where Daniel Gafford is also still hurt. So, first and foremost, it does make sense to put Alexandris in the G League, I would say, above all else. In terms of the block, if we're to reset this, probably does make sense to put Jaden Hardy on the block. Makes sense to put Strus on the block. You could argue Collins or Reed. Both, really. And then there's a couple of centers that you could argue as well. There is also the idea of any picks involving Milwaukee, just be willing to move them. Your untouchables at this point should be Horton-Tucker. Should be Wheeler, for obvious reasons. Probably Martin. Power forward, not so open, and then Duran at center. You do still have the one extra spot on the block that, I mean, again, it could be Bassey, it could be Gafford, it could be Collins. But essentially, you're saying, hey, we're open for business with these players. So let me know if there's anything else that you would change. If there's one specific player you want on the block. I'm going to go set things up for myself here. Then we'll check back with you guys and then see where we are at. Saban Lee ended up signing. Collins does have a big contract, but it is 1 year. Oh, good. I got Alex Caruso. I don't really have a great G League option, to be honest, that I care about. I can maybe put Eklund down there, but... for me, the big names are going to the block here. If I'm not mistaken... Okay, De'Aaron Fox will actually re-sign now. Mitch Robinson won't. Nurkic will. Clark will. Well, I have to take advantage of De'Aaron Fox being willing to come back, even on a big deal. So I am going to drop that money total down a good amount here. And De'Aaron Fox is sticking around. Thank God for that. It's a big boy deal, but I can't afford to lose him. And even then, it'll give me more time to trade him. Robinson, Nurkic, Clark, all have to go. Robinson, Nurkic, and Clark, above all else, have to be on that list. Is there another obvious option here? Not really. Not really. Could be my own first-round pick, just because I presume I'll still be a playoff team. But, yeah. Honestly, though, nobody's going to be untouchable. I am willing to entertain offers on pretty much anybody, but those are the big three that I got to get rid of. All right, and for you guys, it'll be adding John Collins to the block. So to start the season... Oh, that's right. I fucking had the other screen. Whatever, we're staying here. I mean, for you guys, you're going to want at least 10 so that Wheeler gets playing time until the Hardy trade comes in. You could go anywhere between 10, 11, 12, and 13, to be honest. It just depends on who you want to play. So... we got 10, 11, 12, and 13. We'll run a poll for that to see what you guys think. And then for myself here in St. Louis, I'd have to run 12 for Knicks to play. So I'm probably going to run 8. Fox, Simons, Braun, Prosper, and Robinson. Probably not as strong as the team as I'd want. Yeah, we'll see what you guys think there for for that particular setup, and it is worth noting. Collins will probably leave at the end of the season. Bassey also interested in leaving. You could re-sign Paul Reed. Honestly, not that bad of a deal. So keep that in mind. You're going to have to decide the future for one Paul Reed, and if he's a guy kind of worth keeping around. Even in the short term. As 13 wins out by a vote. Fair enough. Fair enough. The extended depth chart, yet again. Extended bench for chat in Cincinnati as we get this season underway. He was asking for about $7 million. He's making $8 million right now, so he's willing to take a pay cut. He is only a 77 overall. I'm not trying to nitpick, but Braun's pronounced Brown. I mean, it might be, but that's not how it's fucking spelled. I'm calling him Braun the entire time. I don't even care. Where the hell do they get Brown from? Fuck that. Fuck that. It's like, oh, my name's Jim, but it's pronounced Sam. Well, fuck you. Your name's Jim. That's your fault. It's not my fault. That's your fault. So fair enough. Point taken. But also, I don't give a shit. 25-year-old Kobe White and Dasunmu, that is a brutal, brutal trade offer. It's German. As if they don't pronounce it fucking Braun in German. This is bullshit. God damn it. Fine. I'll be respectful. Be respectful. But I'm not gonna like it. Damn it. He went to fucking Kansas, though. You know? Like, he went to college in Kansas. You weren't even born in Germany. I get that it's the way the name is fucking said, because your parents probably... But fuck, man. It's bullshit. I got a trade offer for Mitchell Robinson. It's Herbert Jones, 27-year-old, and a first-round pick. Honestly, I got to take it. Robinson's going to leave at the end of the season. I wanted to build around him. He doesn't want to stay. He hasn't gotten that much better. I'm going to cash out on Mitchell Robinson, bring in Herbert Jones and a first-round pick in 2030. So, Robinson, we'll see you later, buddy. And then honestly, Jones can go right back on the list. I don't need him. So we'll see what happens there. But already a big trade for St. Louis and a 7-man bench or whatever the hell I had it set to. Still works. All right, Taugi. Fair. You guys do get an offer for Strus, but it involves a first-round pick and acquiring Andre Drummond as well. I can't imagine that's worth it. 25 years old, C+, that's a nope. I'm gonna have to throw it to you guys. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this one? You do finally get a trade offer for Bassey. Dude named Kenny Tatum, C-, and Uros Golob, a B-. 2 depth players for Charles Bassey. Bassey was wanting to leave at the end of the season anyway. He's not going to get much better than he is. What the hell is your record right now? You guys don't have a very good record. I would take it. I'm just saying I would take it. Bassey wants to leave. It makes you worse. And opens up room at power forward. Or not power forward. At center. For like Gafford and Alexandris. So, you might as well get... I mean, unless you want to hold out and hope that you get something different. Maybe you get something better than this offer for him. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of doubt it. So, alright. It's a yes there. Bassey's on his way to Philadelphia. Well, if you want to run a 13-man bench still, gets Kenny Tatum. Honestly, you could probably drop down to 11 now. You don't need Galab and Tatum. They're not going to get any better. Save you from yourselves and shorten the bench to 11 now that you got 2 guys in there that you don't have to care about as much anymore. So, shorten the bench for you because it makes sense. And go figure, you get rid of Bassey and you start winning a shitload of games. Nurkic and my first round pick this upcoming year, top 10 protected for Podol. And Toronto's first round pick in 2027. That's lottery protected. It's just not worth it to me with Podol being 30. You know? I mean, it gets me better at center, but I don't really need to be that much better at center. I'm going to decline that. I've been trying like hell to trade Nurkic for like 3 seasons now, man. Nobody's biting. Nobody's biting on him. It's crazy. 11-11 for old St. Louis. That's a no. I like how they think I'm going to give him De'Aaron Fox and a first for Pascal Siakam. You're out of your fucking mind. Out of your fucking mind. Simons and Knicks. Don't tell me that's Norm Powell. You're out of your fucking minds. 23 years old, 76 overall, A-. Simons has a new deal starting this year. I'm going to say no to that. No, thank you. Does it make sense to add that other center to the block? I mean, yeah. But at the same time, not really. He's not going to be worth that much. And again, just because he's not on the block doesn't mean you can't get offers for him. So, since we suck, maybe nuke now. Be a big decision. I get another offer. Prosper and Knicks for Podzemski. Only a C+. Give me your coffee. That's a no. Well, the AI do just try to outright fleece you sometimes, don't they? I respect it. I respect it. You know, why not just try to outright fleece somebody? Why not? It's been quiet. That's not going to be worth it for you. 25 years old, Josh Green is a B-. It's not worth getting rid of your first round pick this year, especially unprotected with how you guys were doing earlier in the season. Definitely got to look for a different deal. As much as it would be nice to move Max Strus, you have next year to move him too. Although that said, you guys are up to 23-15 on the season. You've actually been on a really good run lately. That turned around fast. Like, really fast. While still actively trying to trade away players on your team, too. Go figure. This has been a marvelous turnaround for the Lions here. Well, see if any other deals pop up over the course of the next month. You never know. You never know. Never know, you never know. Slow starts happen. It's true. It's true, it's true. Kurt Angle. Alright. 26-19 now. It's been quiet on the trade front. Despite us having quite a bit out there. It's available to trade for. Of course, I have already used my nuke. How much did I get out of it is the question. You guys beat me, too, on Christmas Day. Thanks a lot. Nice holiday spirit, assholes. The hell? You guys do score a lot of points. I mean, in general, the league looks to be very, very high scoring. So, Coming up on the deadline, will there be any other moves? You finally get a trade offer for Hardy. It's Hardy and Strus for Michael Porter Jr. 27 years old, and A-, and Jalen Pickett, who is 26 years old. Now, Strus is obviously your starting forward. It doesn't alleviate the situation of getting Kenyon Martin the starting time, but it does open up that starting shooting guard spot for Dexter Wheeler, your phenomenal 5th overall pick in this last draft. So it technically gives you a pretty damn good forward and frees up space at shooting guard for your young player. It gets Wheeler into starting position. Can we deal Porter this year? I don't know if he has the clause that would allow you to put him right back on the block or not. I'm seeing nothing but agreements with it. Anybody going to disagree with the deal? I mean, the money situation isn't even that bad. You're taking on a bit of cap, but not a ton, about 10 million, but 2 comes off the books. It's going to be done. Jaden Hardy and Max Strus on their way to Denver for Michael Porter Jr. and Jalen Pickett. Was the shooting guard, but he is worse than the rookie that you have. Again, how quickly things can change. Any disagreement to putting both juniors on the block just to see which one gets dealt first? Or do you prefer to keep Porter Jr.? Well, Porter Jr. can't be added, so... so at the very least, can get Kenyon Martin there. And then you still have the open block elsewhere. Which, honestly, Gafford, you might as well. So if we go back to your game plan, Horton Tucker, Wheeler, Porter Jr., Collins, Duren, it's honestly not that bad. And honestly, again, you could shorten the bench down to 9 at this stage, especially to try and keep pushing for the playoffs. 9's kind of the key number there. And Wheeler is tied with Duren for most points or most minutes allotted per game, which is great news for you guys. That is tremendous news that it's lining up well with your coach where he's like, yes, we're playing this kid. So... and that was right before the trade deadline as well. Right before the deadline. So with that, I can't imagine you'd be looking at a nuke at this stage. I mean, you can't deal Michael Porter right now, so there's no reason to use a nuke right now. It's just keep testing out the young Lions and see who breaks through. Let's finish up this season. There's nothing I can do. I've already used my nuke, so we move on. And we'll see if for the 3rd time in as many seasons, we're both in the playoffs, which so far, we have both been perfect in terms of making the playoffs. So, of course, you guys are the only ones so far to make it past the first round, because I keep running into fucking nightmare matchups. Not that you didn't in the 2nd round, but you get the point. You get it, you get it. You guys are going to make it, man. You guys are going to make it, unless something happens. We will stop at the deadline extension, just to double check. It's worth double checking. Supporter at the end of next year, planning on testing free agency, and right now John Collins is leaning towards leaving. Gafford's willing to re-sign, but to be honest, he's not your starter. That's not going to be money. It's only 6 mil. He's actually only asking for 6 mil. That is not bad for a backup center. And then Paul Reed is also asking for 6 mil as your starting power forward right now. Especially, well, if John Collins leaves, he'd be your starting power forward. Yeah, those aren't two bad deals. Short term. I honestly thought Gafford would be asking for more. The fact that he isn't, that's really not a bad deal. He's going to be dropping from 14 million down to 6. And you might as well get the term and then deal him, because at least then you have a really solid second center, for me to say. Yeah, Daniel Gafford's back. I guess I could have cut out a little bit there. We'll try to cut it out a little bit. Again, you're never going to save too much money off the interest, but we'll save a little bit on Paul Reed. There you go. Both of them have stayed. For myself, Nurkic is planning on leaving, which is fine by me. Herbert Jones will probably end up leaving. Brandon Clark, probably going to let him go at the end of his deal, too. So, not tying my team to Yusef Nurkic, as the Sound are only at 500 on the season. That is underperforming, is what that is. Power forward Maxence Prosper is hurt, but playing. Again, I don't have too many young guys that I'm trying to make sure will play. I actually do need to make sure that Eklund plays. I'm going to go back to 8. I just don't care about Caruso. I wish it was Knicks instead, but it is what it is. We move on. There is a chance that the St. Louis Sound could miss the playoffs, while chat seems to be that much closer to actually making it. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. My goodness. My goodness. Man. All right. Well, let's see. Barely over 500 at this stage, too. Man. Barely over 500. Just a couple weeks left in the season. I still can't believe I was 500 million in debt. Probably at least get the play-in. Yeah, the play-in round might be the only thing that saves me. Still hanging around 4 or 5 games over 500. You get over 40 wins, you're typically going to at least get a chance. So it should be all right, but it's not going to be as comfortable of a situation as I'd have preferred. Your MVP in 2026, Detroit's Cade Cunningham. His first award at age 24. He could have been yours, chat. He could have been yours. Had we gone with the Pistons Spurs idea. Rookie of the Year was the #1 overall pick to the Atlanta Hawks, Roy Madison. The 6th man, Indiana's Lonzo Ball. Defensive Player of the Year, Chet Holmgren in OKC. Most Improved, Amen Thompson. Clutch Player of the Year, St. Louis Sounds, De'Aaron Fox. Coach of the Year, oh, Limey. Oh, Limey. What a man. What a man. Joseph Jackson, the Executive of the Year. The all-first team is Cunningham, Jokic, Giannis, now in Brooklyn. That's fucking weird. Ja and LaMelo. Your all-defensive team is Lonzo, Anthony Edwards, Jaren Jackson Jr., Giannis and Chet Holmgren. And the all-rookie team is Madison, Ian Cameron, Harvey Mitchell, Jay Powers, and Keljan House. Dexter Wheeler finished 2nd. If he was starting all season, he would have been up there. So with that, St. Louis makes the playoffs as the 6th seed. It'll be Golden State again, while chat is the 3 seed, taking on Giannis and the Nets. That's rough.